the Cinema Dash, everyone. As always, I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And today I'm going to be talking like a radio announcer.
Are you?
Yeah, to spice things up a little bit.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. Well, you're on the call. You're on the line. What's your name and what do you want to do on the line?
I'm DeGe.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you want to talk about?
This
is my new radio show.
Oh, okay. I'm DeGe. It's great to be here. And we saw The Edge of 17. It's a movie that just came out.
Yeah.
Soon, a little while ago.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much that movie's about a teenage girl who's 17, and it's just like the daily like trials and tribulations of like her life and how shit it is at some points. And
you know what's a shit?
That's it. What?
This radio show. Cue the laugh track, everyone.
Fuck you!
There you go. There's the laugh track.
Hey, oh yeah. Thank you to our live studio audience for coming out.
Can you actually just have that like just blank?
Oh, of course.
Cue the applause.
Here's the laugh track, everybody. It's just one guy in the background. Fuck you!
There's like one guy in the back just going like.
And it's the director slating. But yeah,
No
all jokes aside,
yes.
we saw a movie, The Edge of 17.
Yes.
And now that I said a basic little thing, what was your first impressions about this movie?
No, yeah, it's like what he said was actually the whole story of the movie. But yeah, going into this movie, I was not like all that hyped.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't expecting much of this movie, you know. I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to see it, so that's how I felt about this movie. I saw a trailer. I saw that a couple of actors and actresses were familiar. I've seen other works like Haley Steinfeld, Woody Harrelson, of course. He's been pretty much everything. I mean, come on. Some other people in there. I forgot the names, but they look familiar. And then so that's my first impressions. I wasn't too thrilled, but I was open to see it.
Okay. For me, I was actually kind of looking forward with this one because I heard a lot of good things about it, and I appreciate a good movie that has. I appreciate a movie that has, from what I've heard, a good script. You know, just a good characters, very human characters, and from what I've been reading, this movie delivered on that. So, and plus, you know, we're around that age, so
it's also full of teen angst.
We're around that age. And, you know, we also lived through that. And,
yeah.
So, you know, I was just kind of expecting, like, a relatable experience when going into this movie. I didn't really expect all that much from it. But, yeah, that's really what I was expecting.
But,
this movie shattered my expectations.
Yeah.
And blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
Ripped my heart out. Tore it up into a little mini thousands of pieces, put those little pieces into a wood chipper, then mended it all back together with Gorilla Glue, and shoved it right up back up my ass and into my chest cavity.
Stop. Anyway,
this movie was phenomenal and fantastic.
Yes.
So, yeah,
I agree, except not in that extent. They just took my heart, they poured it in a bowl, mixed the fuck out of it, and they gotta beat it. That's an old Eagle Raptor joke right there from you guys that who know what Newgrounds is. But no, this movie was fucking primo.
Yeah, it's Primo's Pizza over at the Cinema Dash over here. This movie. This movie was great.
We both agree that we enjoyed this movie as much as each other.
Yes, I agree.
And that was probably to the nth degree.
Sure.
So.
So right off the bat. I just want to talk about the characters in this movie because honestly, every single character in this movie was phenomenal.
They're probably like I don't remember the last movie I've seen, and coming out of that theater saying those are some pretty human actors.
No, like literally, like everything felt so natural.
You know what?
And
in the middle of the movie,
in
the middle of the movie, I was like, you know what? If this was like another 2-3 hours longer, I wouldn't be mad.
I genuinely did not want this movie to end at any point soon. But it's just the thing is like this movie like I feel like I'm gonna get a little personal when going into this episode, but like this movie really hit close to home for me. Like it really like hit the nail on the head for some aspects of when I was 17. And even now, honestly, like still as like a 19-year-old kid trying to go through college and shit like that. But like this movie, like back when I was in high school and stuff like that, really like hit home. I think like the two characters that I related to most in this movie were the Irwin kid and the main character herself, Nadine. Like, there were points in my life when I felt like exactly like Nadine felt, and sometimes I still do, but like not as much anymore. But like there were sometimes, like there were points in this movie where like Nadine just like laid it down hard on like any character she was talking to, and just a lot of the things she was saying, I found myself personally like calling back to back when I was in that mindset when I was like a 17-year-old, and just a lot of things she was saying I was like agreeing with and relating to and stuff like that. And then there goes the Irwin kid, where like this kid is the definition of like me as like a junior or a junior / senior in high school, like trying to just navigate like a relationship with somebody or something, because like the one I think probably my top 3 scenes in this movie, like one scene in which they go to the Ferris wheel, like when they go to the carnivals at night and stuff, and they're on the Ferris wheel and stuff like that, and they're just like talking and stuff like that, and then he like it's all awkward, and then he like leans in for the kiss, and she's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" I was like, that was like me, like that. I've actually had an experience where that happened to me once, and it was like the most awkward thing, and I like didn't want to leave my bed for like 3 days after it happened and stuff like that. And then just like throughout the movie, like when like another scene that I really liked was when Irwin was like just hanging out in his room, and then she called him on the phone, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out with me, or like can I come over and stuff like that?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, totally, sure." Like he was playing it all cool on the phone, and then when he hung up, he was like dancing around his room. He got like all excited. I was like I know exactly how that feels, like when I took somebody out on a date or something like that. Like I get it. Like I did the exact same thing when that happened to me. But like I just found myself relating to Irwin, and then especially the main character a lot, because I feel like the main character in this movie is just like supposed to be relatable. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like she was written to just like tug on like every single teen's heartstrings at one point, and like she did. Like she was the best part about this movie. Nadine was the best part about this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so those two characters I found myself really relating to. What about you, Ant?
Two characters that I loved in this. I mean, there was not one bad performance in this movie.
Oh no, not by any means.
There's not by any stretch of the word. There's not a bad performance. There's not an average performance. There's not even an above average performance. You know what? They're all genuinely great to excellent to even near perfect, in my opinion. Like,
oh no, Haley Steinfeld in this movie is perfect.
Yes.
Like she knocks it out of the park. I could see an Oscar nom for like. Like this movie's not big enough to have an Oscar nom. I could totally see like a Golden Globe nom.
It'll get recognized.
I really hope it does for like at least writing, because like we'll talk about writing later, but continue.
Yeah, I loved her, Nadine, Haley Steinfeld, and Woody Harrelson was the perfect teacher. I want him to be my teacher. This is like, he was so cool.
Yeah, I mean, Woody Harrelson in this movie is fantastic.
Yeah, he kind of resembles like that cool teacher you had back in high school, that like you could like go up and talk to and have like a personal conversation like that. Yeah. I had a teacher like that, kind of like my inspiration to why I do what I do now. She's my English teacher in my sophomore year. She really got me into writing, and that's what I want to do for a living. That's what I want to do in college, and what I want to do in the real world. So like everything I kind of roots back to her class. So like she just kind of reminded me of that. And yeah, it was just like, this movie's too fucking real.
Yeah, this movie is real. It's really in there. It's like honestly, at points it didn't even feel like I was watching a movie. Yeah. It felt like I was just like an eavesdropper.
Yeah,
watching what was happening in the room at that very moment. Like whenever there was a conversation between her and her mother, or like her and her brother, it just like it didn't feel contrived at all. It just felt like two people who were just like emotionally damaged having this conversation.
Everyone was damaged, and you were just like another.
Yeah, and you were just like looking through like a doorway, like a crack in the doorway as this scene was happening, and it was like I honestly don't think I've ever I can't remember the last time I've seen a movie like that. I really can't. Like that because this movie depends on the characters. Because if this movie didn't have good characters, then this movie would have nothing going for it.
It'd be your average run-of-the-mill...
It'd be your average run-of-the-mill teen angst drama or whatever that's, like, not good. But this movie needed to have strong characters and strong writing and a great screenplay and stuff like that. And it really did. This movie's screenplay is phenomenal, and the characters in this movie are phenomenal.
I can see this being, like, the next, like, Mean Girls thing. Where, like, it gets, like... Mean Girls is a good movie. Don't get me wrong. It's a good movie. This is like Mean Girls, but stepped up to like like full throttle though.
Yeah, but it's like the thing is like with Mean Girls, it's like focusing on like trying to be like popular and like being accepted into a clique.
It focuses on like cliques, but like as a like your teenage movie about like trying to fit in and like making it in like the real world, like this takes it up a notch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like several notches.
This movie kind of like tackles the subjects that like most movies are afraid to tackle. I think like depression and like broken families and stuff like that. Yeah. Like we've seen a lot of broken family movies, but like this one really like gets to the heart of it because like the mother and like Kira Sedgwick is great as the mom, and she like has like a very like human connection with her daughter. Like I don't know how to like really put it. It feels like she's her actual mother.
Yeah, she has a genuine mother. There's a genuine mother's daughter relationship in there.
Exactly, and just the things that they say to each other is just it feels real, honestly. And one thing that I really wanted to talk about in this movie that really caught my attention was the relationship between Nadine and her friend, her best friend, Krista. Like when I was like watching that, like it kind of reminded me of Us a little bit when I was watching it. Like don't get me wrong, like because like obviously we're not girls, so like we don't do the same shit like as like girls do and stuff like that. But like you know like we've had our ups and downs and stuff like that. But like. You know, we always like circle back around and like, you know, we're still best buds today. Like we've been best buds since like what, 4th grade? No. Like about 4th grade. And like just watching like that kind of like watching that kind of like genuine friendship just like unfold across like the screen and like how it took you through like the years of their friendship in like the beginning of the movie. Like I just kind of got like a little like I was just reminiscing a little bit, I guess. And like I found like a lot of parallel like this movie like really I just found a lot of parallels with like my life because like I'm sure like everybody has like something that they could pick out from this movie and just say like, hey, that like happened to me.
That's why it's so great.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's that one part in this movie, no matter how long or how small it is, that relates. That somehow will relate to any like to any teenager or anyone who has ever been a teenager.
Exactly.
No matter what time frame you've been in as well.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what and. That's just the beautiful thing about this movie is that like you can just pick and choose scenes from this movie and be like, look, this is like I've went through this as a kid or a teenager. I've experienced this for God knows how long. Like high school was either shit or great, and like there's points where it's great and there's points where it's really shit, and sometimes it's just mostly really shit. But it's just this movie just navigates that like territory just so masterfully. And I just want to, and like that's my segue into talking about the screenplay, because the writing in this movie is top fucking notch.
It's pretty good.
It's great. It's so good in this movie. And that's obviously in part to like the performances and stuff like that. But I really feel like that the screenplay really humanized these characters so much. And again, that all comes down to like you know choosing the right actor or like. Having that said actor give a good performance and stuff like that, but I feel like these actors were like perfectly chosen for the role. Like the casting director like knew, like, hey, like we wrote this script and these people are just top notch. Because like you just get because like again with like movies like sometimes you just get like super phoned in performances and stuff like that, and other movies you just get perfect casting, and in this. Perfect casting.
Yeah. I don't think there's one. Yeah, I don't think there's one miscast anywhere in this movie. But one other character I want to mention was the dad. For the 15 minutes he was in this movie, he's like one of the best movie dads I think I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, he's a cool ass dad.
I loved it. I loved him.
The cheeseburger line. Yeah. He's like, look, life might be shit, but hey, you got my love. You're about to have cheeseburgers in like 2 seconds. I was like, dude, like you get it. You get it.
You're getting a cheeseburger?
Yeah, you're getting a cheeseburger. It's like,
look,
like you get it.
We got some cheeseburgers.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, yeah. I want to be my dad. He's only been like alive for like 15 minutes in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, honestly, like.
Yeah, in the beginning too, like how they show how they became friends was cute too. Like they're just like.
They were adorable.
The part where like the girls gonna come up to her like. You're ugly and you smell and you're gonna get AIDS.
That was really funny. Yeah, that was really funny. I hate to admit it, but like that
was like really dark
funny.
at the beginning. Which was really funny.
Yeah, I mean this movie's dark as fuck. Like, let's be real. Like this sometimes could be classified as like a dark comedy, but like honestly, like it's like it's not the fact that it's dark. It's just the fact that it's real. Really, it's because like this shit happens every day. And I think the thing that I commend this movie the most for is that they don't like sugarcoat high schoolers. Like we talked like that in high school. Like, let's be real. Like, we would have like conversations with our group of friends, and we would say terrible shit to each other. But like, we didn't mean it, obviously, because like we was all in good fun, and that's just how high schoolers talk. Yeah. And in this movie, like, they perfectly encapsulate that whole thing. Like, she was like, like the one part where they were like, I hope you you smell, you're ugly, and I hope you're gonna get AIDS or whatever. Like, kids are like
they were 4.
They were 7. Kids talk like that. Like, let's be real.
Well, now they do.
But like,
I didn't even know AIDS existed when I was 7.
But no, just like, it's just different point. Like, just a scene where Nadine and her friend are sitting on like a bench together outside of school, and they're just talking about random shit that happens during the day, like boys and schoolwork and shit like that. Like, that really brought back memories of like every day after school during high school, we would all go out up into the bench out in the front of the school. It was you, me, and then a couple of other of our friends, and we would all just bullshit about the day. And like, we would just talk and, you know, shoot the shit for like a half hour until we all left. Like, it just brought back memories of that, and it was really, really cool to see, so perfectly encapsulated in a movie like this. Again, Woody Harrelson, out of this world. It was really good. He had some of the best lines. I think he had the best lines in the movie. So
the way he just gave it back to Nadine.
Yeah, they had such like a great connection throughout the entirety of the movie. Now, like, sometimes I don't believe. Like I don't really think like a teacher would do that at some point. But like, who cares at this point? Like, who cares? Like, he was just such an endearing character and stuff like that, and it didn't really matter it didn't really matter.
I agree with that. Like, he's just like you kind of like that, like the way a teacher like you've seen before in other movies. It's kind of like he doesn't really care about the class, but like his dialogue was probably the best part of him.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Another
thing that I really liked about this movie was like, this is a very like, all right, so this movie centered around a girl, right? Yes. And most of the main characters are girls and stuff like that. But when you do have a dude in this movie, they're not like some asshole like meathead, like, oh, I just want to fuck and everything. Like, no, they're actually really good characters grounded in reality and stuff like that. Like the brother, Blake Jenner, I haven't really seen him in much up in this point.
The only thing I know him for is for Glee.
Yeah. And I haven't watched Glee, but he was on Supergirl for one episode, and he didn't really have much to do there because he was only on for one episode, so I didn't really get like the full extent of his acting capability. But after seeing this movie, I really want to see him in more stuff, because Blake Jenner was, again, a very, very good character in this movie. He was like, he had to take up the mantle of like the father figure in this movie, and he like, sure, like, he gives off the illusion that he has like a fantastic life, but really in reality he's like really the only thing that's holding the family together at that point, because
ever since the dad died.
Yeah, ever since the dad died, he's like the only thing that's holding the family together. And he, like that one like monologue that he had at the end of the movie when he was talking to Nadine in like the teacher's house, it really like it hurt, like it struck a chord with me. I was like, wow, like, sure, like this guy's got like an equally shitty life as like Nadine does and stuff like that. So like it really just humanizes this whole macho persona he was giving all throughout the entirety of the movie. And I also really liked Nick's character as well, even though he was in it for like maybe 20 minutes. I liked the fact that he didn't like when they were making out in the car, like he didn't rape her, like he got off and stuff like that when she was like, stop. He was like, okay, I'm sorry, like I didn't want to overstep my bounds.
Even if it went in that direction, though, I think it would have been like, I would have like spoke volumes of the movie, though. I didn't like at that point, like if they chose to go down that path, they would have done it right too.
I guess, but like I feel like it was better when they let him like not be like a sexual predator through the whole thing.
Sexual tiger.
Yeah, sexual tiger. But no, I'm really happy that they went down that route, and like all the male characters in this movie weren't total dickheads. So, what else? Haley Lou Richardson as Krista was just she was fine.
She served her purpose, and she did well. Like I said, no one gave a bad performance. No one gave an average performance. Everyone gave a really great performance or like a near perfect performance.
Yeah, I just wish I got to see more of her throughout the entirety of the movie.
Like, because the reasons why I'm not giving like a perfect score is because like kind of want to see the friend a little bit more, maybe a little bit of the brother too, and some of the like parts of the dialogue in the beginning was kind of off. I thought, other than that, I thought it was pretty good. Like overall, like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else positive to say about this movie because really, honestly, all of my flaws are nitpicks.
Yeah.
They're nitpicks. Like, this isn't a perfect movie, obviously. Like, there's no Mad Max Fury Road or anything, but like, this is a phenomenal movie. Like, let's be real, this is a phenomenal movie. So, what do you not enjoy about this movie, or what nitpicks do you have?
I mean, I just said that kind of wanted to see the friend more, a little bit more, Nadine's friend, Krista, more. Maybe a little bit with the brother, even the relationship between the two of them a little bit more. I kind of guess it works because, like, you know, she doesn't want to focus on it, so she's not there. So why should we see it? Because, like, it never focuses on any other character, really, until, like, more toward the end. Which can kind of be like, okay, well, she's going to end up being more open to, you know, her family and stuff. So that's why we're seeing more of the family now. And if that's the case, then that really fucking worked. Because she's, like, very, like, self-centered, like, oh, my life sucks and blah, 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 blah. I can't believe this is happening to me, blah, 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 yeah. So yeah, I guess that worked in that way. If it is the case, then it works. But I would still like to see them a little bit more, even if it was without Nadine. Maybe the dad could have been in the movie a little bit longer. Because I think like the 15 minutes was great, but like I think it could have been a little bit longer. Could have been stretched out just a tad. And the last one was it was Nadine. I can't. What else would you think? I'll think about during your spiel about what you didn't like this movie.
Really, the only thing that like I only really had two little nitpicks with this movie. The one was I could see the ending like coming, like because like really all movies end like well not like all movies, but like I could see that the movie was gonna be like like she finally like is somewhat at peace with herself. She's gonna start dating Erwin, and like and like her relationship with Krista is like gonna be mended and stuff like that. But again, like that's really honestly that's really the only way it could have went. And like I'm very happy with how they ended the movie. Like the ending is great and whatnot. It's just I saw it coming, but that doesn't make the movie any less great. Like this movie's phenomenal. It's not lowering my score at all. And the only other nitpick that I had,
I'm also gonna mention that like some of the dialogue in the beginning was kind of off to me.
I was just gonna mention that.
Yeah,
like
that was like my only other like thing I didn't like about the movie.
Yeah, like some of the jokes in the beginning fall flat a little bit.
Yeah. Because
they kind of just like thrust you into the fact that this is gonna be like a kind of dark comedy, and it's a little jarring, but as you progress throughout the movie, like you ease into it. You ease into it really quickly. Actually, like as soon as like the first like 15 minutes pass, like you're good to go. You're gonna have a good time. But just some of the jokes in the beginning just seem a little bit jarring and like kind of out of place with the situation that's happening on screen right now or at the moment. But yeah, as you ease into it, it's totally fine. And that's again all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
So any miscellaneous things that caught your attention when watching the movie?
No, not really. I mean, like, I enjoyed the animation at the end.
Oh yeah, the little animation thing. That was funny.
Animation like goes along. I think works a lot in film. Whatever you do with it. Like if you want to be an animator, I totally support you with that. I love animations. I also like. It's one of those things. Like it's one of like one of my dream jobs is to be an animator. Like learn to draw well, and make it move, and tell a good story. But obviously, I chose a different career. I'm choosing a different career rather. But yeah, I always loved animation, and I'm just glad they recognize it in this too with an animated film festival. So there's that. That's the one miscellaneous thing.
One miscellaneous thing that I don't know. It's not really a miscellaneous thing, but like this movie kind of like made me want to like go home and just like give my sister a really big hug. Kind of. I don't know. That's just me.
I mean, I don't have any more. None of my siblings are in high school anymore. My youngest sister is in high school, college for the first time. So.
But like, yeah, my sister's a sophomore in high school, and like, I feel like she would really like this movie, because I feel like I feel like she would relate to a lot of stuff in this movie, especially like the whole transition between grade school and high school and stuff like that. I don't know, just wanted to give my sister a hug after this movie, but I think we're gonna cut it here. It's a little bit of a shorter episode, but like we got 2 more coming, so those are gonna be primo.
Peachy key.
Yeah. So, Ant, what would you rate this movie?
This movie's on the edge of 9 out of 10.
God damn it, dude! You're so good at this shit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Suck. I would this movie I would cry my eyes out 9 out of 10 times when watching this movie.
I'll take 9 out of 10 antidepressant pills.
Wow, dude, holy shit.
I do.
That's dark as fuck.
I would go to 9 out of 10 house parties. Yeah.
Oh, before we end this, I want to mention that house party thing. Me.
Yeah.
When every TJ party. Oh, we're not gonna name names on this channel. Every TJ party that we our group
you never
went
to any of his parties.
I went to.
You went to one
left
for like
after,
an hour. Yeah.
No, I left. I know. I went to 2 and I left after 10 minutes because I couldn't stand it. But there's a scene in this movie where she goes to a house party, right? And like she's trying to like talk to everybody and like try to like be more open, but like she goes into the bathroom and she like is like, this fucking sucks. Like I want to leave. And like that was me in high school. That was me. So I just want to throw that out there. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're gonna cut it short. If you watched this is probably gonna come out after the Moana one. Mm-hmm. But if you watched our Moana one, be on the lookout for our X-Men series that is coming next month, which is gonna be super super fun to do. Can't wait to do that. I'm finally gonna be able to see X-Men Apocalypse, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for our Moonlight and Manchester by the Sea reviews, which should also be out next week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, be on the lookout for our top 10 lists as well, or top whatever. We haven't decided. We haven't decided on a number yet. But,
I say top 5 good movies and top 5 bad movies of the year.
Okay.
So it's like a top 10.
I'm gonna do.
So it's like a 10
I might do a little
movies.
bit more. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But be on the lookout for our top insert number here list at the end of the year. That's gonna be coming soon. And also be on the lookout for our Oscar episode, which we're gonna do when those get announced as well. Other than that, pretty sure that covers it all.
Yeah, I think we're good here.
I think that's pretty much.
We're gonna pack up, get the hell off this video. So yeah, I'm Gabbs.
And I'm DeGe.
And this is what our outro looks like.
Yo, fuck you!